Hello Math 30-1 and welcome back to your second transformations lesson. And in this lesson, we're continuing on horizontal and vertical translations. So let's just start on number one. We want to know what x or y was replaced and describe how it affects the graph. So here we have y is equal to x to the power 4. Now, what is replaced here? I'm going to say we can move this 3 over, so we have y minus 3 is equal to x to the power 4. So then y got replaced with y subtract 3. This means there was a vertical shift or translation of, we have 3 up. Okay? Let's take a look at this next one. We have 6x minus 3. And then we're going to 6 multiplied by x minus 1 minus 3. So this and this is still in the equation. It's there and there. The x was replaced with x subtract 1. So x went to x subtract 1. So that means we had a horizontal shift or horizontal translation of 1 unit right. Okay? Because here, h is equal to 1, k is equal to 3 there. Alright? Let's take a look at the next one. We have absolute value of x's. Oh, we have two things happening here, don't we? So I'm going to rearrange it so it's y subtract 2 is equal to absolute value of x subtract 6. So here I have two things. Oh, that should be a bracket. That should be absolute. So we have two things happening here. Y got replaced with y subtract 2. X got replaced with x subtract 6. So if I look at this, we shifted up, we went up 2, and we went right 2, or right 6, sorry. And we went right 6. Okay, let's take a look at D. All right, if I look at D, we have this and this. What's changed? X is replaced with x plus 1. So we have x that went to x plus 1. So that is 1 unit left. We have a shift of 1 unit left. Okay, or a translation of 1 unit left. All right, let's take a look at number 2. It says, write the replacements for x and or y, and hence the equation of the image. So we have y is equal to x squared after a horizontal translation of 3 units to the right. So if 3 is to the right, x gets replaced with x subtract 3, because it's 3 units right. So we end up getting y is equal to x subtract 3 squared. That's it. We have to put this in for every x. All right? Now we have this one here, and it says there's a vertical translation of 2 units up. So vertical, we're dealing with y. So y gets replaced with y subtract 2, because we're going 2 units up. So we have y subtract 2 is equal to 10 to the x. And normally if we want to graph this in our calculator, we can't graph it that way, so we end up getting y is equal to 10 to the power of x, and then we have plus 2. We add 2 to both sides. Okay? Let's take a look at the last one here. It says we have this equation here, the square root of y is equal to the square root of x, and we go a horizontal translation of 4 units to the left, and then a vertical translation of 3 units down. So let's first do my x. X is replaced with 3 units to the left. That's x plus 3. Okay? Or we could say x minus negative 3, which is the same as x to the x plus 3, right? Because left is negative. Now let's take a look at my y. My y is 3 units down. Let's replace it with y minus negative 3, because it's down, which gives me y to the y plus 3. Oh, 4 units left. This should be 4. My mistake there. Sorry. 4 and a 4. So negative 4. So we're subtracting 4. My mistake. Okay, so now we know what each thing's being replaced with. Y is being replaced with y plus 3. So I have y plus 3. And we have square root. And x is being replaced with x plus 4. So if I simplify that, that's y, square root of x plus 4, and then outside plus 3. Okay? So it just looks like, minus 3. Because we're subtracting 3, we subtract 3. All right? And there we go. So it's x plus 4, subtract 3. And there we go. All right. Let's take a look at this next one here. It says, the function represented by the thick lines is the transformation of the function represented by the thin line. So my thin line's my original, my thick line is my new function after translation. So now we want to write the equation for each one. So I take a look at this. I'm going to find one stable point right there, this vertex, and move to the vertex. So what happens here? I went over 1, 2, 2 right. Okay? So x went to x minus 2, because we moved 2 to the right. And how many down did we go? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. So y went to y plus 4. So my new equation is going to be y plus 4 is equal to the absolute value of x minus 2. Or y is equal to absolute value of x minus 2 minus 4. Okay? Let's take a look at the next one. All right. So I'm just going to try and find one point here. I'm taking this point. I could also take this point. And let's see what's happening. I move over 1 to the right, and 1, 2 up. Let's take a look at this point. 1 to the right, 1, 2 up. So we went 1 to the right. So x gets replaced with, goes to x subtract 1. Y gets replaced with y minus 2. Okay? Because we went 2 up, 1 to the right. So now let's put that into my equation. The equation's right there. So I have y subtract 2, because that replaces y. This must go in for y. Is equal to, now this goes in for x. 1 over x minus 1. So if I continue that, y is equal to 1 over x subtract 1. And then we have to plus 2. All right? So that's it. This one is done. Okay, let's take a look at my C now. So let's try and find one point and see what happens. Well, here's my vertex. My vertex. I look at that. Looks like we're just shifted down 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 units. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it looks like, or not my vertex, I have a vertex or a max, here's a min. So they're all shifted down 4 units. I don't have a shift left and right, it doesn't look like. So y is replaced with y plus 4, because we're going down 4. So if I did this, it is y plus 4 is equal to f of x, which ends up giving me y is equal to f of x subtract 4. Okay, make sure it's outside of the x, right? The x is interfered. There we go. Next one, we have the f of x there. We're going from this to this. So we went up 1, 2, 3, 4 is my max. And we go, so that is up 4. So y goes to y minus 4. And we went over 1, 2, 3. So that is 3 to the left. So x goes to x plus 3, because it's 3 to the left. So now we have to replace this in for x, and this in for y. So we have y minus 4 is equal to, we have f, and the x gets replaced with x plus 3. So that's the same as y is equal to f x plus 3, that's in brackets, and then we have to plus 4. So that's the same thing. Okay? All right, now, last question we have here. It says, we have y is equal to the square root of x, and it's a radical function. Okay? What is the vertical translation would be appropriate to y is equal to square root of x so that the image passes through the point 16, 7. Okay? So we want to know the vertical translation. Well, if we know y, so there's no x change here. The only thing that changes is my y. So we want to get y, let's take a look here, we're going to have y subtract k is equal to, I'm just putting my formula, we have square root of x, and that's it, because there's no horizontal transformation. So now I'm looking at this, let's put in my x value that we know and the y that we know. So we have square root of 16, and my y value should be 7. Okay? So now we're trying to figure out what is my k value. Alright, so we end up getting 7 minus k is equal to 16. Or, sorry, is equal to 4. Square root of 16 is 4. Okay, so now we substitute, so we get k is equal to 7 minus 4, which gives me k is equal to 3. So basically, we have a translation, we have to translate it 3 units up. So if k is equal to 3, y gets replaced with y minus 3, which is a shift or a translation of 3 up. Okay? Now here we go, we have a horizontal translation, which we applied. So now we're looking at a horizontal translation. Okay? So if we're looking at horizontal, there's an h being involved, and the y is staying the same. So we have y is equal to square root of x minus h. Okay, so we have to solve for that. Now, we know my y is staying the same, so that's going to be 8 is equal to the square root of, we have, and x is 17, and we want minus h. So now we have to try and solve for this h here. So first thing I'm going to do is square both sides. Square, square. So I get 64 is equal to 17 minus h. Now solve for h even more. I'm going to end up getting h is equal to 17 minus 64, right? So we just switch these around. 17 subtract 64. Okay? So, continue this. H is equal to 17 subtract 64 is going to give me negative 47. Alright, so that means we have to actually shift this 47 down. So x is replaced with x plus 47. So, or not down, so we shifted it 47 units left. So 47 units left, which gives me my formula, I'll write down here, is going to be y is equal to square root of x plus 47. Just like that. Okay? So hopefully you get this and you understood it. And good luck as I see you tomorrow as we tackle these together.